This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Wow, what the hell was that? It's like in the middle. It's never showtime here. We got to get through all the hellos and highs for the next 10 minutes. And yes, L. Dot, if you're out there, I was just goofing around with you. I was making, that's my dry humor, with the... You said, wow, look at their older people. It's like, yeah, that's great. Yes, we do cover cases with older people in there. But I think she just wanted to create drama. So it was like, I'm gonna go, you don't want me here. Well, nobody was saying anything about that. Yeah, that's what it is, bass fishing, right? Yeah, well, I didn't say anything, it just turned into this weird thing when it was just goofing around. Because she said, I could go up and tell you. She said, what was it? She said, hey everyone, and then, what's the next one? Those two cases tonight look like older ladies. And then I said, yeah, sometimes just don't type when it doesn't actually contribute. I'm just goofing around because it's like, it doesn't mean anything. Who cares if they're older? I mean, what's the next comment back? You know what? They do look like older women. What can we glean from this? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, whereas I can definitely see that we're just in the hello mode because there isn't one comment related to what I just said. Yeah, we like bass, you fillet them. I can fillet a crappie pretty well. The first hint was all the hellos. Maybe the 70,000 hearts. I don't know. I'm not sure. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm in jail? Yeah, that's the thing. I was just doing the, that's the kind of the dry humor. It was the same stuff that the other night was I was goofing around with somebody. Remember the planes, trains, and automobiles with the, when you're making a comment, have something where it's related, there's meaning behind it. Whether it be funny or something. But just pointing out just nothing, Hey, look, there's a tree. It's got green leaves. I mean, it doesn't do anything. Yes, that's my kind of humor too. So it's a higher level. So sometimes, there's girl code out there where I don't get it, but then dry humor sometimes is something other people don't get. because it takes a higher level, because you have to get the other side of the joke. There's like, you have to have a double layer there. Oh wait, he sounds like that, pretending it's serious, because, boom. Yeah, and then someone like Tracy, that's perfect, because it wouldn't matter if she got it or not. It just laughs at everything. Yeah. Anyways, I wasn't trying to offend you, L. Dot. I was just bugging you. It doesn't matter, because that's what I always talk about. If somebody's that butthurt about anything like that, oh shit, I'm in jail for a long time now. Because I'm pretty sure that Lee D, was sending me in jail. That whatever she wrote there, can time. Oh, does that mean like on the? Oh yeah, in the can. Okay, yeah. So that means that I'm already negative 25 in the jail. Oh shit! I guess that means I'm already. That's what Lee D was saying. Oh crap! I'm screwed. I guess the show's never gonna get off the ground. Anyways, we got 2 days left, everybody, until the donation night, where we usually have a big push at the end. But we're quite a bit behind last month, and then a lot behind the month before that and everything. But I know the COVID thing has created some issues. Oh, by the way, I'm starting to record some of the audio. I was going to play you guys the like page 1 of the script that Stacy wrote, because I recorded it and I put music in it, so it sounds kind of cool. Thanks, Susanna Macchiola Padre. Yeah, so, what's funny is we used to always butt heads, but now I like Susanna. She's hilarious. It's weird. It takes a while sometimes to actually get to know somebody. Hello, everybody. Hey, thanks in the middle of nowhere, Bear. Wow, that was awesome. Okay, so that's. Wait a minute. Jail the Hughes. Love you, L. Dot. Oh my God, I'm in there for like the entire show. I might have to do the show inside the jail. Holy crap, what happened? And then, is it playing? It's not playing the audio for any of these, is it? Is it? Okay, so Billy Boy Blue said, wait, hold on. Maybe that would do it. But Billy Boy Blue said, hey Gray, I just wanted you to know that I brushed my teeth this morning, then went to work all day. Then I came home and had a pretty solid bowel movement before I showered and went to bed. See, that's exactly right. Like, I didn't really need to know that, right? But so he got the joke. And then Susanna's keeping me in jail because hers said, this should help getting you a private cell. And then Darlene, let's see, Darlene was in there with the loving somebody. Then Jen H said, to Gray's dry humor. Thank you. And then in the middle of nowhere, Bear said, jail for the Hughes. Love you, L. Dot. So I don't know where L. Dot is, but I guess she took what I said seriously. Like, it's like, wow, he's really just... Anyways, you guys want to hear the first page read of that? I'm obviously still in jail for a long time here. I'm about to come up with some sort of Oh, you meant it for a bribe for the jailers? Oh, I see. Yeah, but to get another cell in the jail, though, Susanna. That's the thing. You didn't try to help me get out. You just tried to get me a better cell. You get what I'm saying, right? What's wrong, Angie Pangie? Are you not feeling well? All right, hold on. And obviously when there's a video, there'll be video images and stuff with it. So you're just hearing the audio here. All right, here we go. And hell, LDOT's one of the moderators. All right, here we go. So she should get the jokes. Ooh, got to squat and cough. Yeah. Well, let me just say this, everybody. For any guys out there, if you ever get where they have to test your prostate fluid, that's probably one of the worst kind of things ever. Like they stick their finger up your, and then they press on something, and then it comes out
Stay in jail. I never bug anybody. Smiley face.
So that's probably a little bit like childbirth at that point. All right. Okay. Great. Yeah. Well, that's true. You know what? Talking about that on this channel is pretty much not going to get much results because there's mostly women. But hey, look at Billy Boy Blue. There you go. No bueno. And then Kevin Brown. See, we're getting some representation in here. All right. Oh, Susie B. All right, here we go. You guys want to hear it? Here we go. This is it.
Who killed Amanda Goodman?
All right, hold on.
When the community...
So this is how the actual... So remember the intro from yesterday, how it would be... Well, let's see. Let's do it at the same time, and then I might be able to... It's so quiet. All right, here we go. So this is just the audio.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the community of Brownwood, Texas gathered for Amanda Goodman's funeral on Friday, May 19, 1989, their grief was mixed with fear. Amanda, who was known as Sissy, was only 13 years old. She'd been abducted and killed, and her killer was still on the loose. Amanda's mother, Barbara Nechtek, said a piece of herself died when she found out her daughter was dead. That week had started off normally, with school and work and the usual family activities. But by Friday, Barbara was attending Amanda's funeral. What had happened? Who murdered her? With law enforcement investigating around the clock, it seemed the question would be answered quickly. But unfortunately, the next 31 years would bring more questions, no answers, and the tragic death of 13-year-old Amanda Goodman would remain unsolved. Amanda Goodman was born May 13, 1976, in Spring Hill, Louisiana. She and her family moved to Brownwood, Texas in 1981. Amanda lived in the Southside Village Apartments with her mother.
Hold on, but I've been using that much longer than they were using it. Okay, so yeah. I've been using the audio for years. It's free audio. It's not free, you have to pay for it. So I don't really care, Richard. Thanks for pointing that out, though.
Barbara, her stepfather, George Nechtek, and her two brothers,
maybe I'll use
aged
something
3
else.
and 11 years old. George described the area as friendly and safe, the better side of town.
I always get the idiots.
On Saturday, May 13, 1989, Amanda and her family celebrated Amanda's 13th birthday in a local park. Little did they know that this celebration would be their last bit of normalcy. Tuesday, May 16, 1989, was a typical day for the household. Amanda was in 8th grade and attended school at Brownwood Junior High, where she was in the Talented and Gifted program. Her usual routine was to ride to school with a neighbor and then walk home after school. That Tuesday was no different. Amanda went to school, and when classes ended at 3:30 p.m., she began her 1-mile walk home. Minutes later, a friend saw Amanda walking home. Amanda was in front of the Hickory Stick at the intersection of Calvert Road and Stephen F. Austin Drive, and was walking toward Stewart Street. This is the last time she was seen alive. When Amanda didn't come home from school on time, Barbara quickly became concerned. She looked around outside and then went to the school to search. Almost as soon as she got home, there was a knock on the door. She opened it to 2 police officers, and one of them was holding Amanda's denim purse. They told her that Amanda had been found dead with a gunshot wound to her head. According to investigators, at approximately 4:30 p.m., a passerby driving on Indian Creek Road spotted a body. The body was found near the Indian Creek community about 10 miles south of Brownwood. Her body was found under a tree in a bar ditch. The passerby flagged down another passerby. The passerby who made the discovery stayed with the body while the second passerby left to report the death to authorities. 1 hour. Amanda left school at 3:30 p.m. and her body was found at 4:30 p.m. It took just 1 hour for her to be abducted and killed, leaving her family crushed and a town terrified. The news spread like wildfire and tips began pouring in. Barbara said Amanda had overheard talks of drug deals at school, and Barbara encouraged Amanda to report it to school authorities. Apparently, Amanda had reported it, but Brown County Sheriff Bill Donahue clarified by saying, "We are checking out that possibility and at this time have no solid evidence that this was a contributing factor to the homicide." In later days, he would further explain that the children involved in that report did not have access to a vehicle, nor were they able to drive. Well, that's it. That's kind of how it'll go. I don't know if that'll be, the douchebag up above who called me a douchebag just for saying, hey, yeah, I know. I mean, the thing is, I've used this music for a long time, and then all of a sudden there's this podcast using the music. But it's not, I don't think the podcast heard my show and started using the music. I think that this is music by Kevin MacLeod that a lot of people use. Nobody owns, like for example, I have music that plays in the background of my shows, and people can use it if they wanted to, because I bought the rights to be able to use the damn thing. So, it's just weird when you get some idiot when you go, yeah, I know, and then they call you that. That just shows you that they were a troll from the very beginning. Yeah, they're just here to look for something to bitch about. They're the kind of guy that'll send you an email and, bitch about everything that you did wrong. And then the thing is, what they don't realize is I just put them on, I build a little thing that sends them right to jail and doesn't go to spam. I'm not to jail. Right to the trash and not to the spam folder. So it's just gone. Like the second they say it, I don't even read the damn thing. Yeah. So anyways, what did you guys think of that? I'm assuming I was in jail for so long that I got out. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, look, you can see the paintings. I don't know, but I got to go back on my show. It's dead quiet. Here, let me see what that would sound like. Hold on a second.
Yeah, the intro is pretty cool. It's just yeah, let's see.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the
Yeah, no, let's see. I gotta figure out a different way to do it because you have to have two audios playing at the same time. There, I got it. All right, let's see if that music has what it sounds like. It's weird how you get a totally different feel, but even though it sounds okay, you know. So here we go.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the community of Brownwood, Texas gathered for Amanda Goodman's funeral,
yeah, see, I like it.
Friday,
I want it more
May
ominous
19th,
sounding.
1989. Their grief was mixed with fear. Amanda, who was known as Sissy, was only
It's more of a
13
news
years
broadcast
old.
sound.
She'd been abducted and killed.
Yeah, it has to be kind of
and
an
her killer
ominous
was
sound.
still on the loose.
That's what
Amanda's
I mean.
mother,
Like I
Barbara
found that
Nitschke,
one that I used
said a piece of herself
a long time ago. I used it for the April Tinsley case that I did. So nobody owns that. Yeah, you have to, that's what I'm saying. It's got a whole different sound. Now, if I played that one first with it, you might have it'd be a different feeling. It's not quite as emotional or, dramatic, There's other ones too, like this one. No, that's the one. Okay, that one, and then there's Dark Times. See, I think this one would sound okay with it. So let's see how that one sounds really quick. Isn't this the same? Wait, the other one was, let's see, last time. Yes, that was the last one. Now we're going to do Dark Time, this one.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the community of Brownwood, Texas gathered for Amanda Goodman's funeral on Friday, May 19th, 1989.
I think that might have been the
grief
April
was
Tinsley
mixed
one.
with fear. Amanda, who was known as Sissy, was only 13 years old. She'd been abducted and killed, and her killer was still on the loose. Amanda's mother, Barbara Nitschke, said a piece of herself died when she found out her daughter was
See, that's not
dead.
as bad, right?
That week had
You guys
started
are
off
you guys are
normally
being crazy
with
again.
school and work and the usual family activities.
The comments just they're so all over the place. Somebody's talking to Billy Boy Blue. This one's talking to this person. This one's talking to that one. No idea what anybody's referring to at this point. Yeah, the first one's the best one, though. And I might use it. Podcasters don't own soundtracks. That's just... Unless they paid somebody to make it. That was Kevin MacLeod. I've used it many times over the last 3 years. So I don't know. I don't know what I'll do for that part yet, but there's another one that's, this one, Aftermath. It's kind of creepy. So listen. See, you guys have seen me use this one before. That one's really like, Yeah, I'll go with the one I like best. I'm not really... People go, oh, that's what somebody else used. Well, what do you mean? How do you know I wasn't using it before you? That's the part that's... Okay, alrighty.
Oh, it's so quiet. I can barely hear it. Oh, wait, there it is. That's Thanks, Juju Positive 522. All right. You always like those random numbers, but
Hey, you freaks.
Juju Positive. Okay. I'll do these in order. In this case, a lot of the articles were in newspapers that aren't on newspapers.com. So therefore, the write-up on the Iowa cold case website had a lot of stuff that wasn't really out there. Okay, but the first case here is Mary Bernice Lang, and she was 37 years old. Right there. And then we're going to go through the articles, and both of these they seem to have a similar theme. I'm pretty sure it's not a serial killer. I think it's more the domestic issues again. There's just so many of these, and the problem is with domestic violence and the killers that exist in the domestic violence realm is they spend a lot of time, especially the certain type. They spend a lot of time planning for months and months, and then they finally... There's some that don't plan. I think it was... I can't remember what the terms were. I think somebody... I can't remember. It was a pit bull or a cobra. You know, cobra waiting around to strike, where a pit bull just goes, gets angry really fast, and then there's a violent action and then death, and they usually get arrested pretty quickly. The cobra ones apparently are slow and methodical, plan it out, and you sort of get the feeling, a couple of these cases we've been talking about have that same aspect, and that's why they're not solved, because they were planned out so well. Oh yeah, my bot's not working? Oh, I guess not. How do you know my bot's not working? Yeah. All right, so we're going to start off on the first article here. This is back in 1970, December 18th. The Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation was called in Friday to help search for a Burlington woman who has been missing since Wednesday night. The blood-stained car of Mrs. Mary Lang, 37, was found early Friday on a Burlington street, but authorities said there was no trace of the woman. She was last seen about 8:30 p.m. Wednesday when she left a party. So this is just, when she's missing at this point. Nobody has a clue. The body of a 37-year-old Burlington, so now we're looking at just 2 days after that. The body of a 37-year-old Burlington woman who had been missing since Wednesday night was found 14 miles west of here Saturday morning. Des Moines County Sheriff Merritt Quick said an autopsy was being performed on the body of Mrs. Mary Lang. Her body was found in a creek about 150 yards west of the Iowa Ordnance Plant. I don't even know what that means. Hold on. I guess right there. the Iowa Army ammunition plant. So I'm pretty sure that's probably been the same. Let me just go back. Yeah, so that was there in 1994. So this is Lang, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to map it out with you guys. Looking forward to watching this later. Just popped in to catch what I could and say, hey, good to see you, Cindy. Yep.
But where's Zelda? Where's L.M? Everybody likes L.M. Where'd she go?
Hey, I don't know. I guess she just was having a bad day and didn't get the jokes.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Gosh, Mary Lou, I didn't even know that you were paying attention. Yep. The Freak Family. You guys are the best. Alright, so it says she was found 150 yards west of the Iowa Ordnance Plant. So, you know, west of the plant. So maybe like out in this area. I don't know. I think she might have been found on the road, though, I guess. We'll see, I guess. All right. The body was discovered about 10 a.m. Saturday by Bill Moore, who owns the property. Sheriff Quick said the woman had received numerous blows to the head. He said authorities are searching for a possible murder weapon, which is believed to be a blunt instrument. Mrs. Lang, a clerk in the municipal court office, married and mother of 3 children, was last seen leaving a Christmas party about 8:30 p.m. Wednesday night. Police found her car Thursday morning on a street corner in downtown Burlington. Authorities said they found bloodstains on the front seat, in the car seat, in the rear seat carpets. Huh. So it's almost like somebody's waiting in her car when she left that party, then killed her and then put her in the back seat, or abducted her as she was approaching her car, stabbed her, put her in the back seat, and then drove her away. Burlington Police, Des Moines County Sheriff deputies, and agents of the Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation are investigating the death. Alright. Now it's all cut off on the edge. Shit. Hold on. I'm not sure what happened there. You circle it with a box, and then it somehow it just cut off part of it. I'm gonna look that up again, so it might take a second. So it was December 5th. Yeah. Wow, that's correct. Oh, wait. No, it's December 29th. Excuse me. Okay, I think that's the same one there. Slayer 37. Yeah, that's it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yes, and we've got 2 days left now until our donation night, where we usually get a bigger push there, but we're quite a ways behind. The last 2 months in a row, it's gone down. But I know there's COVID and stuff. But if you're one of those people where hello all. Yep, hello. What's that? A megaphone? All right, here we go. Victim knew her slayer, sheriff says. The slayer of 37-year-old Mary B. Lang, a municipal court clerk, whose body was found in a creek near here December 19th, was someone who knew and someone who knew the area. She knew and someone, so it's someone she knew and someone who knew the area. Des Moines County Sheriff Merritt Quick said Monday. The male friend who was with Miss Lang from the time she left a city employee Christmas party and the Memorial Auditorium here at 8:30 p.m. December 16, at 2:45 a.m. has been cleared. Wow. So, yeah, she's married, but I think she was in the middle of getting a divorce. That's what we're going to find out here later. So this part here, we find out she's at this party with some other guy. Well, what do you think that's going to do to the jilted ex who sees that? Let's see, Memorial Auditorium. Christmas party at Memorial Auditorium in Burlington. Let's see if that's still there. Yeah, yep, still there. Crazy, huh? Wow, Gene Fish, thank you. It's great how it's amazing how easy the keyboard works after you take the crumbs out from inside the keys. No. Oh God. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that one.
It's my brother's birthday in honor of Artie.
Is that your brother that did he pass away? That one? Or I don't know. Does Mary Lou still sing happy birthday? Thank you, Gene Fish. God, I just went boom. Just shocked me out of my brain. Okay, let me get back to this. So the slayer of 37-year-old Mary B. Lang, a municipal court clerk whose body was found in the creek near here December 19th, was someone she knew and someone who knew the area. Well, they say creek, right? So we already have this part over here. Ah, okay. Well, good. Well, good for him. He bought a jewelry store. Awesome. They said, I don't know where there's a creek here. So maybe this is this Army ammunition plant. I don't know. No, I guess he's still alive, Susanna. The male friend who was with Mrs. Lang from the time she left a city employee Christmas party at the Memorial Auditorium here at 8:30 p.m. December 16th until 2:35 a.m. December 17th has been cleared. So the party was from 8:30 to 2:45, I guess. All right. That's a pretty long party there. Okay. The male friend. All right, that's the bad one. Second. The male friend who was with Miss Lang from the time she left a city employee's Christmas party at Memorial Auditorium. She's been cleared. Okay. Miss Lang's sister reported her missing December 17th. Her car was found in a residential area near Smith and Plain Streets. Okay, let's go get that. Plain, like that. Smith and Plain Street. I'm not spelling that right? Oh, it's B-U. Oh, shit. Oh, so I put Smith, but Smith Street. Okay. There's the Memorial Auditorium. And the other street was Plain Street. Plain. One of a kind! Yeah, so Plain Street doesn't exist anymore. So there's Smith, actually. And then, you know, I guess we don't really get to know at this point. Let me try the other Plain. Oh, there is a Plain Street. Ah, see, they spelled it wrong in the freaking... I mean, is it this one, though? Yeah. See, now that works. Because Plain goes right here. See, they spelled it Plain, and I thought, well, let's give it a shot with... So that means her car was found right in this area. And it makes sense. That's right, Kate. Boom! You know what I'm talking about? I like when things all work, you know.
Oh, that's so weird, because this is that same area. Remember the realtor from last night? Look at that. There's the house. This is where he got dropped off. Now we've got her at this memorial service, and then all of a sudden the car is found right there. Look how close that is. Man. What are the odds of that? Makes you kind of wonder. By the way, I'm going to have a little gin and not gin and tonic. Gin and lemonade. I mean, it's weird because it's right in between almost. You know, you've even got... And this is 1970, and the other one, I think, was 60... What was that one from last night? Hold on. The 27th. I think it was 60... Was it Dorothy Miller? Yeah. Yep, yeah, wow. So that's 69. God. That's crazy then. I didn't even realize that till just now. But see, that one is from 69, and then all of a sudden we've got one that's 1970, the next year, right around in the exact same area. And her car is found right there. I mean, literally 10 blocks away from where that one was. That's the cool part about having pins on a map. Because they might be related to another case, and you wouldn't have even remembered if you didn't have the pins there. The car was locked. The keys on the ground. The car was locked and the keys on the ground beside it. I think that's similar to the Dorothy Miller case, because her car was found and I think the keys were in it, right? There were blood stains on the front seat, although this one has a different feel to it, you know. But again, remember last night, that one case seemed really like it was leading towards the husband. And then at the end, oh wow, he had nothing to do with it. See? So sometimes there's things like that. So anyways, the car was locked, the keys on the ground beside it. There were bloodstains on the front seat, trunk, left rear fender. So the blood was on the seat, and then the trunk, inside the trunk, and then the left rear fender. So she was put into the trunk, it sounds like, on a white shag. So she was killed in the back seat and then put into the trunk of the vehicle. That's why there's blood on the fender and inside of it. And investigators said the disturbed dust and blood in the trunk of Miss Lang's car, a white 1966 Chevrolet four-door sedan, indicated a body had been, there you go, hauled in it. So there you go. Death by drowning. Miss Lang's body was found about 10 a.m. December 19th in Long Creek, 9 miles west of Burlington and 16.5 miles from the spot where her car was found. Okay, so let's see if we're even close. Miss Lang's body was found about 10 a.m. in Long Creek. So yeah, it's nowhere near. Okay, so that ammunition plant was right there. Not sure why they mentioned that earlier, but that's 140 miles. Long Creek. 9 miles west of Burlington. Now that's a hell of a lot more than 9 miles.
So maybe they're actually talking about an actual creek called Long Creek. Well, let's see. How close is... So if I went right from the middle of town there, 15 miles is more like that. Although it didn't say that. It said about 10 a.m. December 19th in Long Creek, 9 miles west. Okay, so that makes a hell of a lot more sense. And let's see... So this is called Middletown. Let me try something else here. Ah, shit. What the hell? Quit doing that. Alright. Yeah, so it's Burlington. Now we're in here. And I don't see the creek. I don't, you know, I'm looking for on Google Maps. In this mode, you can see any of these little blue lines like that, you know, being a creek. Oh, that's long. Okay, that was pretty funny. Come on, you gotta admit, that was pretty funny. Alright. Come on, if you actually noticed what the hell I just did there, that was pretty funny. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out the... Okay, so there it is. 15 miles, so maybe down in this area then. Probably took that highway. And let's just guess right there, okay? That was pretty funny. Boom! Yeah. Okay, so we're right here. I'm looking at the other map while I look at this one. So right before the turn, looks like it goes under the road. Yeah, right there. Okay, so let's just guess that this is the spot. Doesn't that look like a likely spot where you would throw somebody right off the road there? Okay. And let's take a look at that. Wow, they don't have street view. Shoot. It's kind of strange. Is street view just not working right this second? Let's see. No, they just didn't go there. Nope, didn't go there. Wow, Kristen Rose. Oh, whoa, what the hell happened? What happened? Kristen Rose and Juju Positive at the same time. Well, sometimes my sense of humor just accidentally shows up, though, right? Like, how in the hell did that happen right there? Yeah, usually it looks like these little creeks like this. Oh, that is Long Creek. Hey, thanks, Rebecca Green. Wow, you... Oh, yeah, see? I was looking at something else. Oh, another one. Oh, shit. Thank you very much, Kristen Rose. A large portion of that will be going to charity at the end of the month.
God, I love your sense of humor.
Well, thank you. You're not too unfunny yourself. Treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen. I'm not really that mean, okay? I mean, you know, not that mean. You notice how I say I'm not that mean? Yeah, that was very kind of you guys. Thank you very much. I don't know. I don't know what I said. That's right, Lisa. I can be so mean. But that's just sort of in your brain, because normally that's just a perception that people have, when in reality it's just me being like somebody that was a family member of yours at a party. Well, that's just your opinion, Lisa, but that's okay. Everybody always says that. And if you're here longer, you realize that that's not the reality of it. Yeah. A lot of times you got to look at what the other person said, but they never remember what they did. Oh no, I was just totally normal. I just merely stated an opinion, Gray, and you were just... Nah, it never works like that. What it is I'll say something like, oh yeah, that's, I don't agree with that at all. I think that's ridiculous. And all of a sudden I'll come back, well, F you, and then I'll go, well, screw you, and then it turns into something, and then I'm the one that was mean. Yeah. 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 Well, saying you overthought something isn't being mean, is it? Because there are people that overthink things. Okay? It's like seeing a cigarette butt on the ground and then you go like this. Oh my God. The cigarette's only half smoking. Somebody must have been abducted because the cigarette's only half smoking. And look at it. It's a Marlboro. That means the person who was abducted was a guy. And there's an oil leak on the ground. This is a gas station, but there's an oil leak on the ground. That means a car must have abducted him from right at that spot. And if I look at this correctly, he headed to the... Oh, my God. Yeah, that's what overthinking is. It's like you just take things for what they are, and that's it. No, it might be snarky to you, but for me, it's just trying to get people back on the track. You see? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Right. Okay. So it goes from mean to me just saying you overthought it. That's not even close to being mean, right? Anyways, we got thrown off track. So I'm going to guess that that's the spot. Since this right here, it is about 9 miles to the west, but it's nowhere near this stupid, this army ammunition place here that they mentioned earlier. Yes, you take the road near there to get down there. Thank you, Fiber Sleuth and Daudio Caspian Horses Rock. You put the FU in funny? Well, who puts the knee in funny? The knee. Why can't you see the map, Rebecca?
Gray, you put the FU
right in front
funny.
of your face. It's huge.
Gray, you're so mean.
Okay. That one wasn't too bad by Mary Lou, right? Come on. Yeah, but who put the knee in funny? Yeah. All right, I'm going to get back to this. Said Miss Lang drowned about an hour after being hit on the back of the head with a blunt instrument. How do you know that? That's kind of an odd, that's a cool diagnosis, or determination. That she died an hour after being hit on the... How would you think that would be figured out? So she got hit on the back of the head. I understand, okay, she was probably knocked out and then drowned. But how do you know how long prior... Maybe the bruising around it? Something like that? That's sort of interesting. I don't know, was Rebecca N not feeling well? Or I saw her the other day in here, but she sent me some cool stuff. A mug and Then she sent me this juice or whatever. I wasn't sure what it was, but it leaked into the thing, and I wasn't sure. So I said I let her know. I go, wow, I don't know what that stuff was though. Yeah, but how would you know though that it was an hour prior to drowning? So let's see. You drown. What thing could he be looking at that he would know that it was an hour prior? Because the hits on the head would mean she was still alive then. And then maybe just the way the bruising looked, I would imagine, something like that. It gave it time to actually bruise and do its thing. If you're dead, you don't bruise anymore. So maybe that was what it was. No, I think the stomach content doesn't make sense, because if you get hit in the head, your body's still digesting it. So that's not correct. Shelley. Yeah. So if you get hit in the head, you're still digesting food at that point. I think it's the bruise, actually. I mean, you know, they were at a party. Who knows when they ate and that kind of thing. Yeah, but the water in the lungs just means that she drowned. What I'm saying is they determined that she died an hour after being hit in the head. But they don't know when she was hit in the head, but they know that she drowned an hour after. That's the part that... So I think they were able to determine by the size of the bruise and the bruising of where she was hit on the head. And because when you're dead, you don't do that anymore. Your blood it just sort of starts pooling. It doesn't pump. Yeah, that's not related either, though, Susanna. You see what I'm saying? Anyways, Sheriff Quick said he thinks Miss Lang's assailant hit her while she was standing by her car. There you go. See, that made sense. In downtown Burlington. Right. Put her, and then... But we gotta explain the back seat part here. So let's see. Sheriff Quick thinks Miss Lang's assailant hit her while she was standing by her car in downtown Burlington. The sheriff said he thinks the assailant used something round like a tree limb or ball bat to strike Miss Lang. Then the assailant put Mrs. Lang's body in the trunk of her car. Sheriff Quick theorized... Well, you didn't explain the blood in the back seat, though. Put Mrs. Lang's body in the trunk of her car, Sheriff Quick theorized, and hauled it to Long Creek Bridge near a popular lover lane. Dragged the unconscious Miss Lang 40 to 50 feet and dumped her into the creek. All right, what's that? Let's see if we can find that one. Long Creek Bridge. Well, that's kind of a bridge, right? I mean, it's more like a culvert, though. I knew it wasn't going to exist. I think that's the only place it could really be. All right, let me put a satellite map on here. And it just kind of ends over here. Yeah, I actually think that's the only spot that could possibly be, is right there. Yeah. I mean, stomach content that what Shelley Pink up above mentioned, it was, popped into my head, but then you think, well, they don't really know exactly, when they had all their meals and everything like that. It's just one of those things where, when your food stops digesting, then you can kind of determine, like, oh, wow, they must have been killed pretty shortly after death. Had it all been digested, you'd know. I don't know if you can tell exactly when, But and what I'm saying, though, is when you're knocked out, your body is still metabolizing food. It's still being processed in your stomach. So it's got to be something else that's determining that. That's why I brought that up. Okay, then the assailant put Mrs. Lang's body in the trunk of her car, theorizes, and hauled it to Long Creek Bridge near a popular Lover's Lane. Her last name is Lang. Dragged the unconscious Miss Lang 40 to 50 feet and dumped her into the creek. 6 hours after Miss Lang's body was found, it was identified at a funeral home by her husband, Marvin, 50. A Burlington area farmer. So now it turns into sort of a different story where it seems like Lang had filed suit for divorce from his wife last June and had asked for custody of their 3 children, Connie, 18, Danny, 14, and Diane, 11. Despite the divorce action, Miss Lang had continued to live. Oh man, this one actually reminds me a little bit of Cheryl Coker. Okay? Although, given the relative location to that other killer, who knows, right? It could have just been she was having a contentious divorce and then got killed by a serial killer, and the husband's always been blamed. Wow, you guys are all over the place again. Yeah, this is unsolved, yeah. All right, Miss Lang's purse was found December 20th, a mile west of Middletown on a blacktop road leading to Geode State Park. Let's see where that is. Man, I try to pick these cases that are interesting, but man, you guys... Yeah, so maybe it was found right around this area. I guess that's the park right there, though. I don't know, we'll just say her purse was found kind of over in this area. Alright, Sheriff Quick said Miss Lang uncashed payroll check was in her purse. Officers theorized the purse had been thrown from a car. The purse, fingerprints on the car, soil and blood samples, clothes and samples at a possible weapon have been sent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation laboratory. We have 8 men interviewing persons who possibly might have information that could help us. Sheriff Quick said, "We are making progress." He said he doesn't think Miss Lang's assailant had hidden in the back seat of her car before confronting her. I don't think she was attacked by a sex maniac, and I don't think robbery was the motive. See, the sex maniac was the other case that we talked about that was in that same area. The one that lured the realtor. Okay. Yeah, I said that, Juju. Man, do you guys ever just wait? Like, let me have like 4 seconds to get the word out? Here comes Zozo. Here it comes. Watch. Oh yeah, the realtor. Yeah, see? Boom. Ah, boy. Yeah, I've done some UK ones. But I'm not doing answering question mode right now. If you want to send me a case, send it to me in the email. I've covered many UK cases. So you obviously don't watch the show very often. Okay, 6 hours after Miss Lang's body was found, it was identified at a funeral home by her husband Marvin, 50. Lang had filed suit for divorce from his wife last June. Okay, I think we already did that one. Hold on a second. I was trying to open up. Okay, this one. All right. So this is one that was on that website. So let's see what this thing says. Investigation of the December 17th death of Mary Lang has concluded a probe of confidential divorce suit. Depositions, authorities said, were Monday evening. And while that path, like others, led to an apparent dead end in search for the person who killed the 37-year-old mother of 3, it uncovered a possible flaw in Iowa's new divorce law. The law's insistence on secrecy surrounding dissolution of marriage proceedings has met with general approval of both legal and journalistic professions in Iowa due to its intent, giving the best possible chance for preservation of marriage. Oh. Man. So what's the funny part? Was it me? Was I funny this time? Oh, the part about, yes, I never cover cases in the UK, yeah. Why is that interesting? She was 37 and he's 50. That's really not crazy at all. It's like literally that kind of stuff happens all the time. Now if he was 23 and she was 10, then I would be like, oh my God, that's crazy. Okay, but once you start getting older, it's like, it just doesn't matter, right? Like if somebody's 50 and you're 37, okay, now let's say he was 40 and you were 27, that doesn't seem absolutely crazy at that point. I don't know. See, there you go again, Gene. You're always you're seeing stuff that isn't really, you know what I'm saying? Come on, Gene. Come on, let's go. Yeah, he's 50 and she's 37. That's pretty reasonable. Let's see, the law, but the same secrecy designed to keep a couple's problems from being magnified by publicly could conceivably hinder legitimate investigation. Man, it's such a crappy copy here. Miss Lang's husband, Marvin, had filed for divorce under the former law June 17th, but a counter-petition she filed under the new law is revealed only by passing reference in a court order written December 8th, 9 days before she disappeared. Her body was found 3 days later floating face down in Long Creek, 9 miles west of Burlington. Miss Lang's blood-stained auto was abandoned in Burlington December 18th. An autopsy revealed she died not from the blow she received in the back of the head, but by drowning. Lang, represented by Burlington. You know what I think? I think she got hit in the head and, got stunned and was sort of knocked out, put in the trunk, and she was alive, probably banging on the trunk to get out. But while a car's driving, nobody hears any of that stuff. Oh, okay, Lisa. That makes sense. Yeah, I've covered many UK cases. An Australian one here and there. And no, not Zach Barnes, okay? Yeah, her body was found 3 days later floating face down in Long Creek, 9 miles west of Burlington. Okay, Lang, represented by Burlington attorney T.K. Ford, had filed for divorce 2 weeks before the new law took effect on July 1st. He charged his late wife with cruel and inhuman treatment and asked for custody of their 3 children. So look at that. Lang, represented by Burlington attorney T.K. Ford, had filed for divorce 2 weeks before the new law took effect on July 1st. He charged his late wife with cruel and inhuman treatment and asked for custody of their 3 children and court-determined property settlement. Ms. Lang, a clerk in the municipal court office here, first asked through attorney Edward Daly for dismissal of her husband's suit on grounds the new lawsuit should be applied. After District Judge William Cahill overruled that motion, she won a continuance in the divorce hearing due to the time needed to take depositions from witnesses in that civil action. District Judge J.R. Leary granted the continuance, planned to set the hearing early in 1971. But the only public notation of a countersuit filed at the unknown date was Leary's remarks that there is a companion case under Dissolution of Marriage Act. So that was the one that you couldn't really read. The depositions, witness statements taken under oath to enlighten the court on civil cases without in-court examination of witnesses and trial are related to both the public and private suits and form the crux of a sticky legal issue. Documents in the Lang public filing indicate depositions were taken November 19th from a Dorothy Pearson, a Mrs. Catherine Lewis, and an incomplete statement from Mrs. Lang herself, and that Lang proposed questioning a person named Hudson, which depositions the plaintiff did not take. I don't even know what they're saying here. The possibility arose that the deposition might include information which would aid lawmen probing Mrs. Lang's death, but their bearing on the non-public suit moved Leary to exclude them from the public record. The depositions wouldn't be available until a decree was issued, he said, explaining his refusal to comment further on their release. But Sheriff Merritt Quick, working with Burlington police inspectors and Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation agents on the apparent murder case, said Monday evening one of the attorneys made them available and we read them. Asked if the documents produced any leads in the investigation, however, Quick said, "If you mean, was there anything of significance? No." Other sources close to the criminal case agreed that the statements pertaining to the divorce proceedings were unlikely to aid criminal probe, primarily because they were taken 4 weeks before Miss Lang's disappearance and reportedly centered on the Lang's property. It appeared that Marvin Lang's substantial property holdings provided the main arguing point that kept either divorce suit from speedy settlement. Lang's considerable farming interests parallel those of the father Harry F. Lang, who died here March 24, 1961. The elder Lang left his wife, Florence, an estate of 100-plus acres in Des Moines County, nearly a quarter section in North Lee County. Let's see. Her husband, Marvin, had interest in about 250 acres. I know, I think what they're trying to point out here is that, he had a lot to lose in a divorce. So let me open up this last one here. I know that was getting kind of a little too far into the weeds there. Okay. Tuesday was one of those gloomy, overcast Iowa days when no one seems to be in a good mood. Des Moines County Sheriff Merritt Quick wasn't in a good mood either, and he sat in his office discussing the investigation into the slaying of Mary B. Lang. The body of Miss Lang, an attractive 37-year-old brunette, and the mother of three, was found in the muddy waters of Long Creek, 9 miles west of Burlington. She was reported missing on December 17th. 2 months and hundreds of man-hours later, authorities still have no arrests in the case. No arrests appear imminent. Quick said, "There's very little I can tell about the case." He said he had been criticized by a number of people, including judges, for releasing information he has about the case. He said he was reluctant to speak about the matter, but he did say investigators still feel their original theory about the death is the correct one. Quick, I'm sure they think it's the husband. Quick wouldn't say exactly what the theory is, but earlier interviews, officials say they believe the assailant was a local person who knew the roads in the area. And they also said that she knew the killer. Autopsy reports show Miss Lang drowned and that she had been struck 3 times. It says, I don't know if you guys can see that. Look at it. Drowned and she I think it meant to say had, and maybe that's just it looks almost like an exclamation point. Can you see that? Yeah, near Lover's Lane, yeah. I don't even know where that is now. Where the hell was that? Answered every question. Lang filed for divorce petition. Let's see. Quick said is Supreme... Wait, where am I? Oh, it's way over here. She had been struck 3 times on the back of the head. Several blunt instruments, which were possibly used to strike her, were sent to the FBI laboratory. Quick would not comment on the FBI reports other than saying they confirmed our original suspicions. The FBI reports were only one phase of the investigation. Authorities have talked to more than 175 people in attempting to get information about the case. 3 men have been taken in for lie detector tests. Quick said the men were not cleared by the test but were removed as principal suspects. Authorities are still checking out leads which continue to come in, but none has led to a break in the case. The biggest problem, Quick said, is Supreme Court ruling, particularly those in regard to questioning. Quick said he still has not been able to interrogate everyone he wants to. Lang filed for divorce petition in June 1970. Miss Lang so that was just a few months before she went missing. Miss Lang later filed a cross petition under Dissolution of Marriage Act. Both actions were still pending. Quick charged earlier that Lang would not talk to authorities, but at the time, Lang's lawyer TK Ford disagreed. Mr. Lang has answered every question put to him, and on 2 occasions investigators have asked whatever questions they wanted with his attorneys present. At that time, Ford added authorities do have information which, as practical matter, demonstrates that Lang, is not a principal suspect. Let's see. There is some disagreement about the course of action to be taken in the investigation. Yeah. Anyway, let me open up this last file here. Yeah. See, it's kind of strange because, you know, like I was showing you guys earlier, I mean, it's literally, you know, right in the middle of this other killing that happened a year before in the same exact spot. I mean, Burlington's a pretty small town, it looks like. And then I mean, our body's 9 miles way over here. So let's go over this article right here. Well, I mean, Ray, you know, I always tell him, hey, you know, you got to quit doing that. But they always, I'm not saying they all do, but a lot of them play along with him. So I'm not sure, you know, if they all don't want him to do the jokes, then they all need to be saying something to him too. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I know you're trying to be like the chivalrous guy that came in here, but yeah, I've mentioned it many times. Yeah. Right. So if they quit playing along with him and told him not to, then it would be different, right? Okay. But every time I see the jokes going back, I'm like, oh, now I can't really say anything. Right. So then what was your comment then? Because your comment doesn't make any sense at that point if you already realized what I was saying. What you should have said was, hey, why does everybody play along with that? That seems like really... Yeah. Yeah, this is in Iowa, yep. Tons of cases in Iowa, probably hundreds of them. I know, isn't that crazy, Juju? It just never ends. It just, people show up and they want to sort of take over the show and they want to bring up stuff that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. You know, it's just like, I just want to keep going over the show. You can send me an email on the other stuff like that, okay? Yeah. All right, let's go over this. An autopsy concluded Lang suffered 3 blows to the head from a blunt object and then, while unconscious, was dragged into the water to drown. At the time of her death, Lang was married to Marvin Dale Lang, 50, but divorce proceedings were pending and the couple was in the middle of a nasty custody dispute over their children. Marvin Lang had withdrawn about $2,000 from an Illinois bank court around the time his wife was killed. See, that part is, look, what do you think the $2,000 was for? Did he pay somebody? And then you go back to the case from the other night. Remember the lady that was killed as a realtor. Come on, Juju, type it in really quick. Look at it. Well, $2,000 is a shitload of money back then. That's like $10,000. What if the other case was also, it doesn't sound like it though, because that guy called twice. And then why would the husband have gone the first time? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It just happens to be 2 killings within a year in the same area, I guess. Yeah, it couldn't have been that the other guy was a hitman too. it doesn't make any sense, because then why would he have gone the first night? The husband. He just would have let that be the night. Or maybe he knew that the wife wouldn't have gone with him ever alone unless he went with her one time. And then the next time she would do it willingly because, oh, everything's fine. And then you remember he goes, well, I had to get up early in the morning, so I had to go to sleep. So that's sort of interesting. And you remember the other case too? She was hit in the head, wasn't she, with a brick? And this case has somebody with a blunt force object too. And then drowned. In that case, she was hit in the head with a brick and then stabbed. No, Gene, it's never the same. Jesus. I'm just kidding. But that is interesting, though, right? Because you got that other case from a year before. What if there was like this hitman that people knew about? I mean, it sounds, you got two cases with blunt force trauma. And then you also have, if we go back out to the map here, it's like, look at that. This is where the house was. This is where the Memorial Auditorium was. In the other case, her car was left right next to this, right here, on this street right here. And remember, he was picked up here, called at this place, walked down here, got picked up, then the car was found there. And then in the other case, her car is found right in this area, which isn't far at all from that spot. Yeah, I mean, probably some guy she was dating, so I don't know. I think in the case that we're talking about, it sounds like there's a hitman involved because he withdrew the $2,000. And so that's interesting now. And then it makes you wonder, is there a way that the other case in that same area, but then why would geography have anything to do with it, like right in the same town, little area in the town. See, that's just, you hire somebody, you don't say, oh, well, I only murder people if they live within 3 miles of this, Nobody says it that way. Yeah, but $2,000 is a lot of money back then. Yeah, just something to think about. Okay, Marvin Lang withdrew $2,000 from an Illinois bank account around the time his wife was killed. Officials involved in the investigation believe Lang was struck elsewhere, put into the trunk of her car, and then driven to Long Creek, where she was removed from the trunk and then dumped in the water. Lang, a clerk in the municipal court office, had not been sexually assaulted, which I don't remember. Was she sexually assaulted in the case last night? Here, hold on. Let me just check that one out. I can't remember now. Because now I'm interested in both of these. And her name was Dorothy Miller. Yeah, and see, again, she's 48 and 37. She's the realtor who was killed. Dorothy had an appointment. Dorothy's body was found the same day, lying face down in an upstairs bedroom closet, partly disrobed, with her hands tied in front of her. She had been raped and stabbed, so she was raped. So that makes it a little different. Yeah, I don't know. The other case seems like it's a domestic violence issue here, especially with now he could have paid somebody. It could just be total coincidence that it's in that same area. Because this one seems like a completely different scenario, unless that was part of the deal. Hey, listen, you gotta sexually assault her to make it look like it had nothing to do with a hit, okay? Because if you go in there and you don't sexually assault her, it's gonna look like a hit, because what other reason would you have done it? In a house that has no items in it. So that's a possibility. It's not very likely, but yeah. Anyways, I gotta go use the facilities really quick. So we'll see you guys in a minute. God, Chloe's going nuts over there. Oh my God. Oh wow, I thought it was just 10,000. That's even more than that. Yeah. Yeah, so she had not been sexually assaulted, right there. On Wednesday, December 16th, she had attended a Christmas party for city employees at Memorial Auditorium sometime between 8:45 and 9 p.m. She left the party to meet Charles Robert Hudson, a 42-year-old married man from Galesburg, Illinois, so she's probably going to have an affair with him. According to Hudson, the two drove to Palms Restaurant in Fort Madison, where she had 3 or 4 drinks. They parked on a gravel road on the way back to Burlington, he said. Well, why'd you park on a... Oh, we were just talking about work, you know, it gets really busy there. Hudson said Lang dropped him off at about 2:45 a.m. Thursday near 4th and Washington Street. So let's see where that is. Well, at least he was honest, you know. Okay, yeah, so that he dropped him off here because that's where the party was, and you know, maybe he parked on a street around in this area and they wanted to be a little bit discreet, so it was a little drop Hudson off. No, I think it was spelled differently than that. With a T. Yeah, Hutson. Hudson. Oh, so you didn't have corona. Good. Good, QB. You didn't have the coronavirus caused by SARS-CoV-2. All right, so here we go. Hudson said Lang dropped him off at 2:45 a.m. Thursday near 4th and Washington Street and told him she was going home. Hudson said he'd made sure all doors to Lang's vehicle were locked and that he'd locked the front passenger door as he left. Why would you make sure of any of that stuff? He was going home. Well, let me see this again. Hudson said Lang dropped him off. So Lang, the lady that got killed, dropped him off Thursday near 4th and Washington Street and told him she was going home now. Hudson said he'd made sure all doors to Lang's vehicle were locked. That's just bullshit, okay? Nobody does that. You know, you might lock your door on the way up, but you're not going to look around because she's driving a freaking car home now. Had you got out of the car together, you might have thought of doing that. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to find something to make him seem chivalrous because of all the crap he's busted for now. Oh, well, yeah, okay, listen, listen, everybody. Yes, okay, I was having an affair. But at least when I left, I made sure all her doors were locked. I think that's what he's doing right here. Because who gives a crap? You know, no, it's not anything. I don't think he killed her or anything like that. I think he was with her, and that might be a reason why the husband took her out right then, because not only is she divorcing him, now she's out driving around on gravel roads, parking cars with some other guy, right? So I think he's just trying to throw out the little comment about, and I made sure all her doors were locked as she left. See, it's interesting, though, that I think she made it all the way home and was abducted there. And maybe even right as she was exiting her vehicle. Lang's blood-spattered car, a white 1966 Chevrolet four-door sedan, was found on Smith Street at Plain off Division. Let's see. Yeah. Now they spelled it right with an A and E there. Thank you, Daudio Caspian Horses Rock. You rock. Get it? Oh, shit. No, that's not why he did it. He just wanted to make sure that he wanted to make it look like he was doing something. Anyways, Lang's blood-spattered car, a white 1966 Chevrolet four-door sedan, was found on Smith Street at Plain by Burlington police at 12:37 a.m. Friday, according to Hawkeye's December 21st, 1970 paper. A total of 31 items, including 4 sets of fingerprints, were sent to the FBI lab. The problem is that back then, every single fingerprint by the husband is explainable. Unless you found a brick with his fingerprints on it. Or a bat-like object with her blood on it with his fingerprints on it. A total of 31 items, including 4 sets of fingerprints, were sent to the FBI lab in Washington, where tests were performed on blood, the fingerprints, mud, and rug found in Lang's car. Killer believed to be familiar with the roads. Police estimated Lang was killed sometime between 2:45 and 7 a.m. Authorities said they were fairly certain Lang was killed by someone who knew her and who also was familiar with the roads in the area. In the Hawkeye December 21st article, Police Inspector James Ewing said Lang's male companion was a good suspect, as good a suspect as you could have found, but that following a polygraph lie detector test in Cedar Rapids, the man was cleared as a suspect. Yeah, because he was the last known person to see her alive. But in this case, just like that case we had the other night, about a month ago, remember that one where the boyfriend, they were out drinking, and then on the way home they got in a fight, so she got out of the car, he drove home, and then he goes home, goes to sleep, wakes up in the morning, and she's not home, and then he calls police. Well, wow, what a great suspect that guy was. Well, it turns out that she was actually abducted by a serial killer during the walk home. It had nothing to do with the guy at all, but man, what a great suspect he was. Okay? So in this case, it's similar. This guy, what motive can you think of with this guy? Maybe she said something like, well, I'm getting a divorce, and you better tell your wife. You can come up with all kinds of crap like that. But he could have easily just said, hey, But instead they went and parked on a gravel road. I really doubt he has anything to do with it. Let's see. Hudson, who lived in Galesburg, took the polygraph the day after Lang's body was found. Ewing said a Cedar Rapids veteran administrator BCI agent conducted the test and said it determined Hudson, who denied any knowledge of Lang's disappearance or death, was telling the truth. Yeah, but as we all know, those aren't incredibly accurate. But I think I think he's telling the truth. The shoe was found in a barbed wire fence, that's weird, which cuts across Long Creek, the same fence in which Mrs. Lang's body was caught when discovered. The purse was found 1 mile west of Middletown on the north side of the geode blacktop. Deputy Sheriff Mel Burgess said it appeared the purse had been tossed from the operator's side of an east side vehicle. Its contents were strewn over a 20-yard area, but Mrs. Lang's unwashed payroll check was still in the purse. Now, I think this purse was thrown here to throw off investigators to where her body was. thinking that somebody would find her purse, and then they'd look all over that park, which was way far, 10 more miles away. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him like that. Or fortunately. Oh, thanks. Small 11989.
Just wanted to tell you you're great, Gray. Smiley face.
Well, thank you.
But Gray, you're so mean.
Oh, shit. During the pending divorce proceedings, Marvin Lang had hired brothers Don and Ivan. Okay, so this is Lang. Okay, Marvin Lang had hired brothers Don and Ivan Googler. Wow, he had a name like Googler before Googler even existed. Don't we all Google? To follow his wife and document her comings and goings. So he hired two brothers to be private investigators. So that means the husband knew of all of her affairs and everything like that. Okay, so look at Marvin Lang had hired brothers Don and Ivan Googler to follow his wife and document her comings and goings. The night of the party, Marvin Lang called the brothers at their homes at approximately 2:30 a.m. Well, that's kind of weird. Okay. Arriving in separate vehicles, the brothers parked down the road and walked to the Lang home, where they said they sat in a dark kitchen with Marvin Lang while waiting for Mary to return home. But why would they do that? The brothers said they left at around 5:30 a.m. when Mrs. Lang failed to show up. I just call bullshit on that. Okay. Hey, wifey, these are the two guys that were following you. Why would you want her to come home and see those two guys there? It almost feels like they're now coming up with an alibi for what they were actually doing. Don't you think? The night of the party. Yeah. Well, I think she made it home, like I told you guys, right? So when they say the night of the party, Marvin Lang called the brothers at their home at approximately 2:30 a.m. Arriving in separate vehicles, the brothers parked down the road and walked to the Lang house where they said they sat in the dark. You know what's interesting is here's what I think is what happened here. I think he killed her when she got home, and she's already in the trunk of his car. Then he called up these two people and had them come over and sit there and go, see, this is my alibi witnesses. I was sitting right here the whole time because there's this small little window, right? Although, they said it was 2:45, but maybe they fudged a little bit on the 2:30 part there. Because 2:45 was apparently when the boyfriend guy said he got dropped off. But I think she made it home. Because if you believe the boyfriend, and all the doors were locked, how would somebody have just sort of got in the car in the middle of the night when you're driving home? It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So she makes it home. The husband takes her out. Or it could have been that he knew what time she was what time she was going to be home. And he called them at 2:30. Let's see. Called the brothers at their home. So he called the brothers at 2:30, but what time did they actually get to his house? So there was this little window of time there. Arriving in separate vehicles, the brothers excuse me. I inhaled some Diet Coke. Parked down the road and walked to the Lang home, where they said they sat in a dark kitchen with Marvin Lang. So the lights were off. They're waiting for her to come home. But what were they going to do? 1 week later, the brothers served as pallbearers at her funeral. Oh, how disgusting is that? Oh, my God. See, that just shows you how depraved and sick this guy is, right? So he had these two PIs that were watching every move she was making.
he had them be pallbearers at her funeral. I mean, see, that's exactly what the worst of the worst types of these abusers, the cobras, I think they're called. That's the kind of shit they do. The pit bull types, they just quickly, oh my god, they react on emotion at the moment, and then that's it. This guy's a nut job. Lang's murder was, let's see, 1 week later, the brothers served as a pallbearer at her funeral. Oh my god. Lang's murder was the only one of 6 homicides in 1970 the state BCI did not solve. When the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation established a cold case unit in 2009, Mary Lang's murder was one of approximately 150 cases. That's why I'm covering those cases now. Listed on the cold case unit's new website as those the DCI hoped to solve using latest advancements in DNA technology. Right, so it looks like that's the bridge that they're... I see like a little bridge there. Man, I can't even make out what that is. Huh. Well, that's a shot from the sky. Let me just see something. Yeah, it's hard to make out with this map. It's so dark. I don't even know what it's looking at. About Mary Lang. Mary Bernice Lang, the daughter of Wilbur Allen and Rose T. Grinnell, was born January 21st. Let's see what's going on in the comments down there. How can the FBI ignore the horrible alibi that the husband and... Yeah, and then the Googler brothers gave. Why, I know, it's like you include 2 people and then you use them as your alibi. It's crazy. Hey, thanks, Kristen Rose. 1 penny short of the cat eye sound. She probably hates the cat eye sound, I think. Wow, that was very kind of you. Thank you. Oh, look at that. It's a super sticker. I haven't seen that one before. That's a new one. I think if you did 50 and 1 cent, it might work. I don't know. That damn penny. Maybe I need to change that. Maybe I'll make it on my end $49.99. That way, the ones that act. Oh, and then Juju or whoever it was, I can't remember if it's Juju or somebody else. He doesn't like the extra penny on there. Well, there you go. Well, thanks, Juju. Billy Boy Blue. He needed the money. Oh! Yeah, one of those 3 had something to do with it. Yeah, well, it wasn't, when you say one of those 3, I think they all may have had something to do with it. See, why would he call them at 2:30 in the morning, right around the time? It's almost like he had, I don't know. I don't even buy that part. I don't think that they were ever waiting in. Why would you ever do that? Oh, wait, hey, when she comes home, let's all confront her and say that we've been following her. That would be ludicrous, because then she'd have ammo. against you. So that didn't happen. Right? Everybody, does anybody think that he literally said...
Here's the extra cents.
Thank you, Juju Paz. Does anybody think that he literally called these two guys up to have them come over and sit and wait in the dark for her to come home and go, surprise? That's just ludicrous. Yeah, the 2000 went to maybe these two guys right here. The Googler brothers. Mary Lang was my aunt. I stumbled across this website. The memories it brought back. I'm thankful that you still working the cold case. I hope that you continue this case. We already know what happened. We just need proof, which wasn't available in early decades. It's still not available because it doesn't sound like there's any DNA. And the thing is a lot of his DNA is explainable, right? That's the one crazy part about some of these cases. I and other surviving family members would like closure and finality of what happened, the truth. Please don't let this case drift away. Thank you. Well, see, there you go. That's what we do here. We too are covering it, and it didn't drift away, right? There it is. Yeah, no doubt. Why weren't they more curious about these Googler brothers? Maybe they were. They did polygraphs and all this. Yeah. Well, they might have questioned where it went. We don't know that. All right, let me well, that's it for that one. I'm going to get the other one in now. So you guys are going to have to suffer through another case here. And the reason is because I don't want to change the thumbnail again. Yeah, well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? If they, like Chris Pyatt said. Yeah, well, I hope you guys found it interesting. It took us a hell of a long time to get through it with all the different side attractions and people joking around and moving here and there, but sometimes you need that little break, right? You just got here, Sarita? Jesus. I got put in jail early on. I was in there for a long time, too. Long time. But for those of you that's here, I'll play the as another break right before that next case. I'll do the reading of the first page of the first video that I'm going to be doing on my new channel called Nefarious, right? And this is the I sent all of my information that I got for investigating the case, and I sent it over to Stacy, and Stacy's a writer, right? I mean, and it's cool because now, and what I told Stacy to do, I think this is a cool idea. What I said for Stacy to do is she's writing these all up for me. And then I said to her, well, why don't you take each one that you write and then maybe you can make a book, an Amazon book of each of these stories, or, like 10 at a time, and then boom, you publish that one, then you go on to the next one. I think that'd be cool as hell, right? Because she's already written it and it looks great, But it just took all of my, the stuff that I gathered on the case. So. That's Amanda Goodman. It's one that we talked about a long time ago. So here it is. I'll just play the first page. There's 4 pages. And here it is.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the community of Brownwood, Texas gathered for Amanda Goodman's funeral on Friday, May 19, 1989, their grief was mixed with fear. Amanda, who was known as Sissy, was only 13 years old. She'd been abducted and killed, and her killer was still on the loose. Amanda's mother, Barbara Nedchtek, said a piece of herself died when she found out her daughter was dead. That week had started off normally, with school and work. And
oh, it's pretty quiet, isn't it? How come?
activity.
Wonder why.
But by
Oh, I know. Hold on. Let me start over again.
Amanda's funeral. What had happened?
There we go. Yeah, I had the same sound as the background music, the volume. Here we go.
Who killed Amanda Goodman? When the community of Brownwood, Texas gathered for Amanda Goodman's funeral on Friday, May 19, 1989, their grief was mixed with fear. Amanda, who was known as Sissy, was only 13 years old. She'd been abducted and killed, and her killer was still on the loose. Amanda's mother, Barbara Nedchtek, said a piece of herself died when she found out her daughter was dead. That week had started off normally, with school and work and the usual family activities. But by Friday, Barbara was attending Amanda's funeral. What had happened? Who murdered her? With law enforcement investigating around the clock, it seemed the question would be answered quickly. But unfortunately, the next 31 years would bring more questions, no answers, and the tragic death of 13-year-old Amanda Goodman would remain unsolved. Amanda Goodman was born May 13, 1976, in Spring Hill, Louisiana. She and her family moved to Brownwood, Texas in 1981. Amanda lived in the Southside Village Apartments with her mother Barbara, her stepfather George Nedchtek, and her two brothers aged 3 and 11 years old. George described the area as friendly and safe, the better side of town. On Saturday, May 13, 1989, Amanda and her family celebrated Amanda's 13th birthday in a local park. Little did they know that this celebration would be their last bit of normalcy. Tuesday, May 16, 1989, was a typical day for the household. Amanda was in 8th grade and attended school at Brownwood Junior High, where she was in the Talented and Gifted program. Her usual routine was to ride to school with a neighbor and then walk home after school. That Tuesday was no different. Amanda went to school, and when classes ended at 3:30 p.m., she began her 1-mile walk home. Minutes later, a friend saw Amanda walking home. Amanda was in front of the Hickory Stick at the intersection of Calvert Road and Stephen F. Austin Drive, and was walking toward Stewart Street. This is the last time she was seen alive. When Amanda didn't come home from school on time, Barbara quickly became concerned. She looked around outside and then went to the school to search. Almost as soon as she got home, there was a knock on the door. She opened it to 2 police officers, and one of them was holding Amanda's denim purse. They told her that Amanda had been found dead with a gunshot wound to her head. According to investigators, at approximately 4:30 p.m., a passerby driving on Indian Creek Road spotted a body. The body was found near the Indian Creek community about 10 miles south of Brownwood. Her body was found under a tree in a bar ditch. The passerby flagged down another passerby. The passerby who made the discovery stayed with the body while the second passerby left to report the death to authorities. 1 hour. Amanda left school at 3:30 p.m., and her body was found at 4:30 p.m. It took just 1 hour for her to be abducted and killed, leaving her family crushed and a town terrified. The news spread like wildfire and tips began pouring in. Barbara said Amanda had overheard talks of drug deals at school, and Barbara encouraged Amanda to report it to school authorities. Apparently, Amanda had reported it, but Brown County Sheriff Bill Donahue clarified by saying, "We are checking out that possibility and at this time have no solid evidence that this was a contributing factor to the homicide. In later days, he would further explain that the children involved in that report did not have access to a vehicle, nor were they able to drive.
Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, we got another one of the trolls showing up. Hey, that sounds like the other podcast. Well, you know, they sound like me because I used that audio 3 years ago. You know, if they were using it before 3 years ago, well, let me know, okay? But I don't know if I'll be using that background music, but I like it. But if you get a bunch of idiots like the James Ball and the other guy up there who come in and they're going to bitch about, hey, that's the same music they got on the other one. You know, I hear my music all the time that I play in the background on other YouTube channels. Okay? It's all the time on different videos, okay? Yeah, I like the music too. But, you know, as you can see, you get these people who call in and they come in and they complain and bitch and moan about you using it. You know, hey, that sounds like... Oh, boy. Yeah, maybe they sound like me. You ever thought of that? Yeah, I think it was the priest in my case. No, I did know James Ball. I just told you I knew. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. I did know that already. As a matter of fact, another clown just like you 30 minutes ago said the same thing. Wow. And also during my Scene of the Crime podcast, we were going to pick that music, and then I think Morph said, hey, I think Trace, whatever the hell the name of that, Trace, whatever the hell you called it, Elements. Well, that's actually the name of one of our freak family members here, though. Or Trace Evans, excuse me. Yeah, he said, oh yeah, McLeod, or he didn't say McLeod, he said that they use that audio. And I said, oh wow, yeah, I've been using that for a long time. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Okay, well, don't worry about it, James. Don't worry about it, okay? All right, man? How did you think it sounded other than that, James? Okay, cool, thanks. Yeah, I don't want 1,000 people. That's one of the reasons it's hard to... I mean, it sounded good without audio, I thought, anyways. But the problem is you know, a piece of music that you think sounds really good, if somebody else is using it in a podcast, that's not what I'm going to be doing, though. Mine's for a video. Okay? I'm not using it in a podcast. It's for standalone videos on YouTube. And I've been using the audio when I covered April Tinsley long time ago. Over 2 years ago. So I don't know how long they've been using it. But either way, it's Kevin MacLeod's music. You purchase a license for it, and anybody can use anything on there. Nobody owns that song. You know? I mean, he does, Kevin MacLeod. Right. Well, it's public use if you buy it. It's not public use. You're not really right about that, Crystal. You know. Yeah, in the description of the video, I have a new channel called Nefarious. Okay? And if you go to that channel, you'll see that that there's nothing on there yet because Well, this is what it looks like. Hold on. See, just like that. Nefarious. That's it. Real simple. And all it's going to be is standalone videos on there. You know, because there's a lot of cases that I cover that are really interesting. You know, this might be one of them too, right here. And you guys will probably be like, okay, yeah, I heard this one. But at least it's a condensed version of it. I'm trying to get out the same cold cases that we've covered that are really interesting. And, you know, nobody's even talked about them. Ever. Right? Like, remember the other day, the case of the those two sisters? I can't remember. It's like Ray, starts with an R, I think. They were Iowa cold case. Oh, hold on, I think I've got it over here. It was the. You guys already typing it in? Okay. And what the hell was it? Happened the 23rd. No. 20. What was the one? Remember with the quarry? That one? Yeah, the raker. Yeah, there you go. Thanks. Like, I thought that was pretty interesting. And actually, that's the one that they were relating to that the other two girls that were missing that they just had an IDTV show about tonight. And I think that was, hold on, it was the Lion sisters. They were wondering if it was related to that. But I think it did a whole show on the Raker sisters. Yeah. That hurt my ear. Hold on. Ah, man. Gotta remember where the raker. Okay, I'm gonna move this over and get it ready for doing at some point. All right, awesome. Now I've got that in the other folder. I've got 4 over there. Okay, now I'm gonna the link's in the description. I don't know if any of you guys, let me is there a link that goes right to that? What happens if you go, oh. I guess I'll subscribe to my own channel. Yeah, so there we go. There's the link right there in the video if you want to click on that. We've got 118 subscribers already with no videos. It's not too bad. Let's get that number up there. 118. Well, 124, just like that. All right, here we go. Moving on. And this one is Lynn Louise Schuller. It might have some similar elements. You were number 2. All right. Who was number 1? Who was the first? Yeah, and she's 26 years old. So L dot, she's not really that young, okay? Covered many cases with 26-year-olds. Were you first too? I don't know who was first. I can't remember. Me? Yeah, so when you hit the subscribe button, you also hit the notifications for all videos, all right? And then if you guys could help me out, once we start putting videos out, to share it all over the place, okay? Oh, whoever emailed, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what that means. All right, you guys ready? Lynn Louise Schuller, 26, of 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast. Man, what a crazy convoluted address that is, huh? But it actually exists. 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast. That's not that one. Excuse me. What the hell happened to the... Got so many cases now. That was 25. There it is. I don't know. This house looks new over here. Let's see what this one looks like. That one... Yeah, I don't know. That one looks sort of newer. I don't know if that one was around at the time. It's hard to know. Lynn Louise Schuller, 26, of 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast. This is 1972. That's her picture there. The classic hairdo from back then. Oh, maybe Zozo was first, yeah. No, she probably was, because I was saying, hey, what do you think about this one? What do you think about this? Has been missing since Sunday morning, and Lynn deputies suspect foul play may be involved. Miss Schuller's husband, Keith, I think this one is a missing persons case, though. Hold on, let me get the... that's another picture of her right there. Yeah, she went missing in June 1972. Oh my God, Chloe's going nuts over it. She's just playing with the toy on her own. Oh man. Chloe. And Blue looks at me like, please, Gray, please. Help me. Go get it, Blue, go get it. Go get her. Oh man. Oh boy. Where is the... I don't even know where their camera is. Whoa. Oops. Hey, thanks, Billy Boy Blue. All right, so there's their camera. Let me fix the lighting. She's looking at me like, who the hell? What the hell? Look at the mess they made. Look at that. She just did that. Go get it, Chloe. Come on, Chloe. See, she tried to bite his tail there. You see that? What the hell is she doing? Chloe, 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 Chloe. Look at her. She's going insane over here. Look. Oh, God. You see how Blue is just... Ah, screw it, you know.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Gwen. He's trying to be like the... Look how I'm so chivalrous. Thank you, everybody. Well, I mean, they play back with him all the time. That's all I can say. If, and there, there's some people that don't like it, but at the same time, if the people who he's playing with said to him, hey, I don't like you doing this, then he'd probably quit doing it. Okay? That's just kind of my position on it. I'm not really, I'm not like, yay, this is great, They are pretty cute, aren't they? Yeah, maybe you're right there, Susie B. You might be right. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So she's a missing person. And here we go. Lynn Louise Schuller, 26 of 3100 30th Street Drive, Southeast, has been missing since Sunday morning, and Lynn deputies suspect foul play may be involved. Miss Schuller's husband, Keith, told authorities she was in bed when he left their residence early Sunday morning with their young son and was gone when they returned about 12:30 p.m. So that would be, just a little bit afternoon. Her bicycle was gone. Hey, look at this. It's got a total reference to the, hey, JK, a reference to the Morphew case, everybody. I should have put Morphew. I could have put in the title, Morphew, not, but, it's got something. It's got a bike. Okay? It's got a bike. And we might be able to work in a mountain lion if we have a chance. Maybe some bleach. Her bicycle was gone when they returned, but was lying on its side in the front yard when they... Okay, so it's a little different. It wasn't down a bank. Okay. A second time, about an hour later, he said. Okay, her bicycle was gone when they returned, but lying on its side in front of the yard when they returned a second time, about an hour later, he said. See, that's kind of weird that he would say that, though, right? Like, what would make him admit to, like, wow, yeah, it wasn't there, but then it was there later? Almost like he's... Hey, Chloe. God, she's literally going insane. I think her hormones must be... She almost never barks, either. It's weird. Hey, hold on a second. I gotta... Holy crap, I just showed up to the sound in my ears. Thanks, JK!
I will say it again, if flirting died, I would be on a hilltop sworn to a vow of silence at a monastery.
All right. Well, thank you. Chloe just went freaking nuts. Listen, you guys know I don't even know how to flirt, right? That's what the whole lizard eye... maybe I'll do the lizard eye story again for the new people, because I'm sure... See this thing right here, the lizard eye? Okay? So this is me. I got to tell the lizard eye story for the new people. I know there's some new ones out there. Yeah, so I was at a bar... relatively wasn't that long ago. I'd say 15 years ago, maybe. And I was in a bar. Maybe it's just even maybe 10 actually. Well, probably something like that. But anyways, there was a waitress that was cute, and we were sitting down at a table, and I was talking to her for a while, and then I looked at her and I said, "Wow, your eyes look like a lizard," And what I meant to say was your eyes look exotic or something, something that would make somebody feel good. But I said, "Wow, your eyes look like a lizard." And so, yeah, it didn't work out well for me. I'll be honest with you. But, I gave it a try. It just wasn't the right wording. I don't think anybody wants to hear that their eyes look like a lizard. Okay? It's not really good it's not really good game at that point. Anyways, yeah. True story. I mean, that really happened. It's pretty sad shit, but yeah, I know some of you haven't heard that before. Yeah. I guess it was just too much. Wait, you got it? God. Hold on a second. I'm going to let these suckers outside. Oh my God. That's crazy. They're freaking nuts. Oh my God. Man, they are just literally insane. Your eyes, they're amazing. You remind me of a lizard. Yeah, no, it doesn't really work. Yeah, when I saw you, I just wanted to tell you something. The first time I saw you, I looked at you and I just thought, wow, you look just like a lizard. Yeah. Okay, forget it. Yeah, I bet you do. Juju positive. Have you ever heard they look like a lizard? Okay. She just looked at me like what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, and it just exactly how you would think somebody would, Yeah. I don't think she literally said anything. I think she just kind of started ignoring me after that or something. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to this now. Her bicycle was gone when they returned. So they returned after they got back home at 12:30. Her bicycle was gone, he claims. But was lying on its side in the front yard when they returned a second time after an hour later. About an hour later, he said. Yeah, so what did you go looking for her? And then, anyways. Deputies said Wednesday, anyone... Oh, so what they're trying to say is when he got back, he's trying to say at 12:30 when he got home, she may have just been out on a bike ride. But then she came back home while I was gone, and then something happened to her then, but I just wasn't around. I see. All right, so if I ever tell you your eyes look like a lizard, I'm complimenting you, okay? Unless they really do look like a lizard, and then in that case, I'm just being accurate. All right, Miss Schuller's parents and husband believe that foul play is involved. Deputies believe foul play may be involved because they found no reason she might have left voluntarily. Right. Miss Schuller is described as 5'5", 120 pounds, and having red or strawberry blonde hair, brown eyes, and a light complexion. She wears brown horn-rimmed glasses. It is believed she may have been wearing green shorts, a green striped top, and white tennis shoes. Miss Schuller said he suspected foul play because Miss Schuller actually was very careful about taking care of her bicycle and would not ordinarily have left it on the side, deputy said. So that, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like to me that he overthought it a little bit. You know, like, hey, look, she really takes care of that bicycle. I'm going to go ahead and tell him that. And that's why it's sitting there. Isn't that weird, everybody? Go down that route. Hey, go down that route. Look how weird it is that the bike's here. Because she really took care of it. There's no way she would have left it out on the side there. And these are a bunch of, like, look at this guy. Yeah, this guy actually looks a hell of a lot like my brother, though, to be honest with you. My brother Grant. It's pretty bizarre. But yeah, they're in this field. I guess that's a walkie-talkie of some sort. And they're looking for her at this point. The picture shows some of the approximately 50 law enforcement officers, civil air patrol members, and civilian volunteers who searched Friday for clues in the disappearance of Lynn Louise Schuller. The search of the area between the Schuller's residence at 3100. You know, let me zoom in on this really quick. I gotta send this to my brother. That's crazy. Looks just like him. Oh man. And then I'll send him my picture that looks like me right there, right? Look at what I'm doing. Look at that. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, everybody. See? There it is. The search of the area between the Schuller residence at 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast and East Post Road. So let's see where East Post... We already have it on the map, right? So... Oh, so I guess I bet you that's East Post Road over there. Let's see. Oh, no, East Post Road's right there. So it's from here over. They were looking around in that area. Yeah, well, that was actually just chipped paint there, Felicia. If you weren't on the show, it was really weird. It actually popped right out of my head. It's not me, though. It's just literally paint. And that's her right there. Another picture of her. Lynn County Sheriff's deputies Friday morning failed to turn up any trace of Lynn Louise Schuller, who apparently... Let me turn this down. It feels like it's loud. Who apparently disappeared Sunday from her residence at 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast. About 50 special deputies, law enforcement officers, civil air patrol members, and civilian volunteers searched an area of about a square mile east of Schuller's house. Yeah, well, she looks like that because she's got those glasses on. If you took those glasses off, she'd look younger. And basically everybody in the 60s looked way older than their age compared to today. About 50, okay, and then Sheriff Walter Grant said the search was concentrated on this particular area because its close proximity to the route Miss Schuller reportedly planned to take to a market Sunday. The area is wooded with heavy undergrowth. Searchers moved on a line west from East Post Road southeast for about a mile, then pivoted north. Searchers later covered an area south of the starting point, but again found nothing. One Linn official said the search has about exhausted all leads in the case, adding, "About all we can do now is wait and hope something turns up." It's said to be a more recent photo than the one published earlier, so this is more recent. She's 26 years old, and yeah. And that was on, she went missing on the, I think it was 10th. Or maybe it was the 5th, actually. Let me see what that says. Hold on. Early Sunday, and this is Thursday, so let's see. 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, maybe. Okay. The Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation was officially asked Friday to join the investigation of the disappearance of Lynn Louise Schuller. Miss Schuller was reported missing Monday by her husband Keith, who first noticed her absence about noon Sunday when he and the couple's young son returned from a fishing trip. Linn County Sheriff Walter Grant reported the Cedar Rapids Police Department had been assisting in the investigation. The BCI was called Friday morning, he said. He reported he has been meeting with police officials and county attorney for the last 3 days. We are still on the opinion there was foul play for a person of her background to just disappear. There will be no more organized search parties until more clues can be found. Grant said the Schulers were reported to have been having marital problems at the time of Miss Schuller's disappearance, but persons associated with her are not of the opinion that she would have simply walked off. So here we got another Cheryl Coker deal. Several items were seized Monday morning during a search of the Keith Schuller residence. Okay, so now they're actually seizing items from inside their home. Okay. The search was authorized by a warrant issued by Lynn District Judge Robert Osmundson, probably from Iceland. Lynn Louise Schuller, 26, was last reported seen on August 6th. Grant said the Schulers were reported to be having marital problems at the time of her disappearance, and that persons associated with her are not of the opinion she walked off. County Attorney William Fatches said Monday his office concluded Friday, after 3 weeks of investigation, that sufficient evidence has been obtained to warrant seeking a search warrant. He declined to say, they could have used a different word than warrant seeking a search warrant, you know. He declined to say what additional evidence had been obtained that led to this conclusion. An assistant county attorney said the sworn statement seeking the search warrant alleged the crime of refusing to assist an officer had been committed. You know, because after all, she's just missing, right? It did not say by whom it had been committed. Judge Osmundson received evidence for about 2.5 hours in a secret hearing Friday afternoon to determine whether a warrant should be issued. Sheriff Grant said Monday he was not at liberty to disclose what items had been seized at the Schuller residence. And there was no computers back then, so it wasn't a laptop. Okay. Hey, thanks for subscribing, Daniel. Anybody else out there watching, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. You get absolutely nothing for it but joy and happiness. and an occasional snarky remark. He did say that some of the evidence repudiated statements received from persons during investigations of the case. He declined to say what statements or what persons. Yeah, we only got 147 watching again. It's crazy. He said some of the items will be sent to the state crime laboratory for analysis. Officers executed the search warrant on the Schuler residence grounds and 2 vehicles at 6:45 a.m. Monday. Schuler was there at the time, summoned his attorney, who then came to the scene. The search was concluded at 9:24 a.m. Schuler reported to the sheriff's office August 7th that his wife was gone from their house after he and their young son returned from a fishing trip the day before. Okay, so what do you mean, return from a fishing trip the day before? So you went and stayed overnight fishing? The Iowa Bureau of Criminal Investigation has joined in the investigation. And this is about a month and 5 weeks later. Items seized in a search of the Keith Schuller residence have been ordered forfeited to the state for possible use in any trial that might be held in connection with Mrs. Schuller's August 6th disappearance. Wow. Lynn District Judge Robert Osmondson ordered the forfeiture Wednesday afternoon. So that means the items they took from the house, the husband cannot get back. The order stated that, contrary to contentions of Schuller's attorney, there was probable cause at the time of issuance of the search warrant, August 25th, to believe the existence of the grounds on which the warrant was issued. The search warrant was executed August 28th. Seized at that time were a number of items, including a snow shovel, spade, 2 knives, and a machete. Oh boy. On the same day, a charge was filed against Schuller, accusing him of refusing to assist officers during an investigation of the disappearance of his wife, Lynn Louise. He was arrested on a warrant 2 days later. Grounds listed for obtaining the search warrant were the possible commission of murder, manslaughter, kidnapping, or refusing to assist an officer. Motions in the refusing to assist case are scheduled to be heard municipal court in municipal court on Friday. All right, now we're a whole year later. Her father's offering a reward. A $1,000 reward has been offered for information leading to the discovery of the body of Lynn Louise Schuller, who disappeared from her residence at 3100 30th Street Drive Southeast just over a year ago. An intensive search of the area around the residence failed to turn up any substantial clues about the disappearance of the 26-year-old woman on Sunday, August 9th, 1972. The reward was offered at a news conference called by an attorney for Miss Schuller's father Wednesday. The attorney, let's see. Lynn Sheriff Walter Grant, in an interview with the Gazette, said 500-acre area around the Schuller residence has been combed on foot, and an additional 1,500 acres has been searched. Mrs. Schuller's husband, Keith, contacted officials the day after her disappearance. Right. Huh. Well, wouldn't the son have noticed something, though? That's the thing, is the son might have answers here. He told officers he and the couple's young son left early Sunday to go fishing. Miss Schuller was absent when they returned. Okay, well, here's what he did then. He killed her. It's just like the Cheryl Coker case. He killed her at home, and then probably in the middle of the night when their kid was sleeping, drove her miles away, dumped her body somewhere, then came home, woke up the kid and go, hey, let's not wake up mom. Let's go fishing. Okay, so right when he gets back from the... Yeah, and here's what he did, too. I bet you he went to a place that was similar to where he went fishing so that any evidence on the tires and everything would be totally explained. So he probably went home, and he went into the house and woke up his kid and said, hey, listen, let's not wake up mom. Let's go fishing. Okay, hey, come on, let's go. Then they drive out and then they go fishing, and then they come home and they go, oh, whoa, where's mom? Okay, doesn't that make sense? It makes sense to me. That just, these kind of just come to me as we're going over it, but you sort of look at the scenario here. The kid would have been a witness had he not done something to her. Or had he, you get what I'm saying. I mean, he would have seen it. But how would he not have seen it would be just how I said it there. That he kills her in the middle of the night, comes back home at some time, wakes up the kid to go fishing. And don't wake up mom. I'd like to know, did you ever see mom when you got up in the morning to go fishing to the kid? I think that would be an important answer to know, if the son saw the mom. Now, if he did, then it's sort of a weird scenario then, because then you got them coming back and she's not around, and then the kid's still with the dad. But I think it's got to be what I was just saying. He told officers he and the couple's son left the house early Sunday to go fishing. Ms. Schuller was absent when they returned about 12:30 p.m. Her bicycle also was missing. Oh, and by the way, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you guys think in the standalone videos? After I do the script part, then I go in and I just say what my thoughts are of it. It'll sound a little different. It's not going to be scripted, that part. Or should that be something separate? I don't know. It might be better just to have the script, and I don't know. And then on my show is when we talk about it. But maybe I'll come up with just a few of the thoughts, I might even write them down, just these are my thoughts, and then do like a 2-minute thing at the end. Okay. Schuler said he and the boy left again, but returned a short time later to find the bicycle lying on its side in the front yard. Ms. Schuler has not been seen since. I want to know what the deal is with the bike. I think what he's trying to say is, no, she was still actively moving around. That is what he's doing. It even proves what I said a minute ago more. Okay? So he killed her in the middle of the night. He takes the son fishing, wakes him up. Hey, let's go. Comes back. But now he has to show that, oh no, she's still moving around doing things, because when I got home, the bike wasn't there, and then it showed up. It was there, so something must have happened to when she got back, I think it proves that even more. I think he was setting that up as an alibi to make it seem like she's still moving, even when he and his son were back driving around, maybe looking for her. What do you guys think? I think that makes sense. Last August 28th resulted in a seizure of a number of items for possible use. Okay. Then 2 days after that, a tip concerning the disappearance of Lynn Louise Schuller, who has not been seen for about a year, was received Thursday. The tip followed the offer of a $1,000 reward. The reward was, Sheriff Grant said the man who gave the tip Thursday gave no details, saying only there was something he wanted to show authorities. Grant said arrangements would be made with the man to look at what he wanted to show as soon as possible. Probably a psychic. The 26-year-old Ms. Schuller disappeared from her residence. An intensive search. Yeah, so the rest of it's all the stuff we know. Okay, now here's the write-up they have in here. It's a pretty long one, actually, and it gets, but we'll just do it. When Keith Schuller reported his wife, Lynn Schuller, missing in August 1972, police suspected murder from the very beginning. More than 4 decades later, they still believe Schuller is responsible for her death, but don't ever expect to find her body. Why? The suspicions surrounding her disappearance sounded so much like that of local folklore that even police were reluctant to acknowledge Keith Schuller could have committed such an abhorrent act. The tale began in Minneapolis suburb where Lynn Tickner had been born and raised. Barely a teen, she met Keith Schuller, 6 years her senior, while the two families were vacationing in northern Minnesota. A long-distance relationship culminated in Lynn and Keith's marriage September 18, 1965. The two made their home in Cedar Rapids, and Lynn gave birth, the couple's first and only child, in 1969. By all out, so the kid was only 1. Really? I mean, you go fishing at 1? Yeah. Or was it, how old is this? No, 2. A 3-year-old kid. So maybe that's good. By all outward appearances, they seemed like a happy couple until 1971, when Keith abruptly announced he wanted a divorce. Okay, so he already announced he wanted a divorce, and they were still together, living in the same house. See, that's where it sounds a little bit like Coker again. Lynn, however, wasn't ready to break up their new family and refused to grant a divorce. So Lynn said, "No, I'm not going to give you a divorce." She always indicated to me that she was hopeful they would resolve it because of the child, Lynn mother would say. Keith continued to press for a divorce, and in 1972, Lynn wrote a letter to her mother stating that Keith had threatened to kill her. Wow. And that was 1972. Keith owned a 6-foot-long alligator, Pogo, and 2 pet snakes. Oh, shit. So this guy sounds like that show. What was that show that was just on? This is crazy. So he owned a 6-foot alligator. What's a Pogo? I don't know what a Pogo is. I mean, I know what a pogo stick is, but I don't know if maybe that was the name of the... I mean, everyone knows what a pogo stick is, but that's, I mean, you're talking about animals here. Keith owned a 6-foot-long alligator, and then it says Pogo and 2 pet snakes. Maybe the alligator's name was Pogo. How about that? The alligator's name was Pogo? 6-foot-long alligator, Pogo, and 2 pet snakes. He also served as a medic in the Army for 3 years. You never believe anything like that is going to happen in your own family. A few months later, while vacationing at their same lake where their daughter and Keith had met, the Tickners received a call from their son-in-law. Lynn had disappeared, he told them, and he didn't know where she was. Let's see. Pet snake. He also served as a medic in the Army for 3 years. You never believe anything like that is going to happen in your own family. Okay, so a few months later, while vacationing at their... Well, later from what, though? Lynn wrote a letter to her mother stating that Keith had threatened to kill her, and then a few months later, while vacationing at their same lake where their daughter and Keith had met, the Tickners received a call from their son-in-law. Lynn had disappeared, he told them, and he didn't know where she was. The perfect crime. Harry and Eloise Tickner immediately headed south for Cedar Rapids, where Keith Schuller told them he'd last seen Lynn while she was sleeping. He said that around 7:30 a.m. on Saturday, August 6, 1972, that he and their 3-year-old son had left the home. Oh, God, see, look how close that was to my guess. I was thinking maybe a little earlier, 6:30, but yeah, 7:30 a.m. He saw her sleeping, he claims. And I bet you anything, he didn't bring the son in there because she's still sleeping, of course. Right? Yeah, obviously. Yeah, this is just crazy. So I think my theory actually is even more right at this point. Had left the home and returned about 5, Sunday, August 6, 1972 was a Sunday that he and their 3-year-old son had left the home and returned about 5. Well, I thought you said 12. I thought that was 12 something. 12:30. Oh, no, it says 5 hours later. Sorry. I just had to read the next sentence. So, yeah, that's 12:30. To discover both Lynn and her bicycle were gone. Schuler said he decided then to take his son swimming. So she's missing, so he decides to take her son swimming at Beaver Park. Before they'd gone, he said he'd left a note for Lynn. Yeah, 3's a little young to go fishing. The swim was short-lived, and Schuler and his young son returned home about an hour later. This time, however, he said Lynn's bicycle was there, but that she was missing. Yeah. So here's what he did. When he came home, he probably brought his son into the house, and then he went and put the bicycle there. And, the son's not going to remember. He'd just say, "Oh, I don't remember. I wasn't looking." And he just puts it where he wants it to be found. "Oh, wow, she really takes care of this bike. There's no reason it should be out here. It's weird. I hope you guys noticed that part. She really would never do this with her bike." The home showed no signs of forced entry and nothing was disturbed. Lynn's purse and all her belongings were still there. Later that same day, Keith Schuller had contacted his wife's parents, along with several others, to report his wife was missing. Those he'd called arrived at the couple's home and helped conduct searches in the area around the surrounding area. The following afternoon, approximately 24 hours after Keith Schuller said he first realized something was wrong, he called the Linn County Sheriff's Office to report Lynn missing. Dozens of volunteers helped conduct a more extensive search, while detectives got a search warrant and seized several items from Schuller's home. Yeah, I mean, it's also possible that it was a little bit more similar to Coker as well, that he killed her and he was in a second car. She was in a second car in maybe a trunk. And then at nighttime, he disposed of her body somewhere else. And then after that's all taken care of, he gets back home, goes to sleep, wakes up. Then he calls police saying, "Oh, yeah, well, I gave it 24 hours. So that's a possibility. But I think it's more likely the other one. She wasn't even alive at 7:30 in the morning. Hey, JP, Rodeo Clown. Why don't you go... I don't just cover the Delphi case over and over again, okay? It's an important case to me, but all these other cases deserve the same amount. And you're nothing but a troll jackass that shows up to this channel every now and then, and you get upset because you try to interrupt the show and bring up a Delphi question in the middle of a show, and nobody's interested in what you have to say, so unfortunately we had to block you this time. You'll no longer be able to participate on this channel, and I look forward to your shit-ass email that you'll send, because losers like you always do that. Okay? All right, thank you. Keith Schuller was asked to assist in the investigation, particularly to help search the nearby woods for his wife's body, but he refused to do so and was arrested for refusing to assist an officer. Schuller said he refused because he already checked out the woods himself. The charge was later dismissed for lack of evidence. Infrared aerial photos were taken. Yes, he didn't want to take that. Thanks, LM. Yeah. One of a kind.
Thanks, Gray and all.
Well, thank you, LM. As in Element Open. Let's see. Lynn's parents offered a $1,000 reward for information. Keith Schuller continued with efforts to obtain a divorce, this time on the grounds that his wife had deserted him. Oh man, now he's throwing her under the bus. When Lynn's parents hired an attorney to represent their daughter, Schuller dropped the case because he didn't want to do a civil case. And now, if he did a civil case, then other information would come out. Would file again and again, a total of 7 times in Linn County District Court. But each time, when it became apparent he'd have to testify about the circumstances surrounding his wife's disappearance, he would drop the case. There you go. Without his in-laws, Keith Schuller finally went to Dubuque County District Court to file the papers. The divorce was granted in July 1976. Less than 2 years later, on March 20th, 1978, a Dubuque District Court judge granted Schuller's request to have Lynn Schuller declared legally dead. The decree listed their son as the sole heir of Lynn's life insurance benefits, with Keith the conservator. Oh boy, here we go. Keith would later marry a woman he'd met in Cedar Rapids before his wife's unexplained disappearance. See, there you go. I mean, this is so classic. God, how many cases have we had that are just like this? You know, you've got Coker, Chris Watts even. I don't even want to bring that shit up, but, you know, it's a similar deal. You meet somebody else, everything is, you know, and you kill your wife. It's just ridiculous, okay? Keith would later marry a woman he'd met in Cedar Rapids before his wife's unexplained disappearance, but that relationship also ended in a divorce. So she probably figured it out at the time. Maybe she didn't do a life insurance policy for him to cash in on. Schuller and Pogo head to Idaho, where Schuller teaches middle school. So who's Pogo? Is that his alligator still? Where he teaches middle school students, teaches middle school students, obsesses about death. Schuller eventually left Iowa, taking the 6-foot-long alligator with him. So the alligator is Pogo. And moved to Fruitland, Idaho, where he taught middle school students for 25 years. This guy seems like he's a little bit like the Tiger King dude. And moved to Fruitland, Idaho, where he taught middle school students for 25 years. A 1992 article in the Gazette said Pogo had become a favorite of Schuller's students and that Schuller had just recently been featured on a local television news program. Woohoo! One of Schuller's former students vividly remembers his science teacher from the mid-90s. On Friday, August 2nd, 2013, the student responded to an Ask Reddit post titled, "What is the scariest unsolved mystery you've ever heard?" The student responded, "My 6th grade science teacher." So was he killed? Did he die too? Let's see. According to the former student, Schuller was seemingly obsessed with death. After leaving his teaching position, Schuller went on to become the Piatt County coroner. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. The guy became a coroner, for God's sakes. Are you kidding me? Piatt County is part of the Idaho and Ontario, Oregon micropolitan. Thank you, Mary Clark. Man, this is crazy, right? Piatt County is part of the Idaho and Ontario, Oregon. I've been to Ontario, Oregon. The population was 22,623. It's right on the border. I'll show you where it is. So he moved quite a ways away, trying to get as far away as he could in the United States, basically, from his murder. So it's way over here. Let's see. Yeah, it's right on top of it. Yeah, so it's right here, and then Idaho's the purple line, so it's right on it. So probably just, yeah, there it is, Piatt right there. So, he was a coroner in that area way over here. So let's do this again. After leaving his teaching position, Schuler went on to become the Piatt County coroner. Obsessed with that. Piatt County is part of the Idaho and Ontario, Oregon micropolitan statistical area. The population was 22,000 as of 2010. The Piatt County seat and largest city is Piatt, Idaho. Although he was our science teacher, all I remember him talking about was deadly diseases. The hantavirus was a favorite of his. Deadly animals. He had a pet Gila monster and deadly gases. He talked about carbon monoxide poisoning a lot, the student said. That's interesting. Schuler had lived right next door to the school and would sometimes let the students come over and feed Pogo, the pet alligator. The August 2nd Reddit post linked to Lynn Schuller's page here on Iowa Cold Cases, and by 10:15 that night, nearly 12,000 people had clicked the link to read about her still unsolved disappearance. Well, let's see. What's the scariest unsolved mystery you've ever heard? Other Oak Island, lead map. Hey, look at that. Dyatlov Pass right there. And then what did he say? The student was my 6th grade science teacher. Oh, there it is. Right there. He was and remains the only suspect in the murder of his wife in the 70s and was believed to have fed her body to his pet alligator. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Well, where, though? Where was he keeping his alligator at the time? He moved to Idaho sometime after his wife's murder, where he was a middle school teacher and became the county coroner. He was my I mean, it crossed my mind that he fed the alligator, but it just seems so... I mean, what did he do? Have an alligator in his backyard and then nobody thought to... I don't know. That's just... But it's similar to, again, to the Tiger King. Wasn't there something like that in there? Where maybe the other lady in that story killed her husband and fed him to the lions? Yeah, it just seems kind of strange. And then how quickly would a 6-foot-long alligator be able to eat, a body that's bigger than itself? It just seems a little far-fetched. Could be true, though. Yeah. Yeah, they always say Carol effing Baskin. Everybody says that. I don't know why. Where he was middle school teacher, and okay, so this person wrote 7 years ago. He moved to Idaho sometime after his wife's murder, where he was a middle school teacher and became the county coroner. He was my teacher and in the middle 90s. One of my former classmates recently showed me... I wonder why you guys looked him up for that, though. Like, how did they know that that's what he was about? Recently showed me the article, and it freaked me out. He might have found out about it later. and then went, "Oh my God, he was my teacher." Okay, that's right. That's what he just is saying right here. This teacher lived next door to the school, and sometimes he would let us come over and feed Pogo, his pet alligator. Little did we know that he liked to feed people to that alligator too. He was seemingly obsessed with death. Although he was our science teacher, all I remember him talking about was deadly diseases. The Hunavirus was a favorite of his, deadly animals. He had a pet Gila monster, and deadly gases. He talked about carbon monoxide poisoning a lot. Yeah. Okay. She was barely 18. The 13-year-old Lynn met 19-year-old Keith Raymond Schuller while the two families were vacationing in northern Minnesota. In 1969, Lynn gave birth to the couple's son. Keith Schuller reported his wife missing on August 6, 1972. Media reports listed her age as 26. I think it's more likely he just took her somewhere. A 6-foot-long alligator, even if it's 8 foot long, eating an entire human being, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think he got obsessed with death because he killed her. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I know it makes the story more interesting, for sure. Less than 2 years later, on March 20th, 1978, a Dubuque District Court judge granted Schuller request. Yeah, so that's it. Well, hopefully they collected some of the poop samples of the alligator to see if her DNA is in the poop. Then you could prove it, right? Hey, wow. So now we really could have a reason to look through fecal matter. What did you see in there? Well, I found a little bit of a plaid shirt and some jeans. Yeah. Well, anyways, you guys, that is it for the stories tonight. That was a long show, 3.5 hours. Yeah. So I hope you guys had a little bit of fun there. Sorry for the trolls that show up here and there. Maybe Billy Boy Blue, if you could be a little more subtle with your, And if you guys don't like his jokes, then let him know. But I have had people actually say that. All right, cool. Just a little bit more subtle. Like Billy Boy Blue went up to... Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $1.75. Okay, I think that would be a way to make that work. Right? Okay. Hey, thank you, Kristen Rose. Yeah. What's the one about you get the Curzon Way one? What's the first part of that one? Eating her Curzon Way. Along came a spider, sat down. Yeah, Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, eating her Curzon Way. Along came a spider, sat down beside her and said, "What's in the bowl, biatch?" There we go. Gotta smoke the cigarettes. Yeah, well, the other one you can't do, the Mary Mary, quite contrary. You can't finish that one. Thank you, Kristen Rose. What is whose name? Oh, Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Oh! Well, what does that mean, though? Okay, she came down with $2.50, right? So she went up there and, played a little hopscotch with him, and she won. Okay, and then she came down with $2.50. Doesn't mean anything happened up there. Hey, didn't you hear the last night at the end of the show, J.K.? Trace Elements sent me a new rap that Mary Lou was trying to bust out into the rhymes. Okay, Juju Positive. Now look at Juju Positive. Okay, there's Little Miss Muffet. Okay, I'll let it read it. Oh, there we go. See, now he's just going to be really... here we go. Here comes Billy Boy Blue. He's lightening it up a little bit, everybody. Lightening it up. Okay, this is the new Billy Boy Blue here. Oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go. But Tuffet's okay.
Little Miss Muffet, eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider. He sat down beside her. He said, "Hey, what's in the bowl? You respectable woman who is my complete equal. Also Kubi rules."
Oh, that's pretty good. Come on. That was pretty good, everybody. Now you made me look bad because I said it with the, the biatch word. That's pretty funny. Oh. Look at all the laughs you got for that one, Billy Boy Blue. That was creative. Look at that. He says, "Oh, whatever." He's right in between, I think. But anyways, everybody, make sure that you maintain your social distancing, wear your mask, and wash your hands whenever you can, all right? Try to avoid getting COVID-19, the disease you get after you get infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus, all right? Absolutely perfect.
So thank you. Thank you to Lee D, Zozo, Billy Boy Blue, Susanna Macchiola Padre, Jen H, in the middle of nowhere bear with a cat eye donation, Darlene White, Zozo, Juju Positive, Gene Fish with a cat eye donation, Kristen Rose with a double cat eye donation, Juju Positive with a cat eye donation, Rebecca Green upgraded her membership, Fiber Sleuth, Audio Caspian Horses Rock, Audio Caspian Horses Rock, Small 11989, Kristen Rose with a cat eye donation, Juju Positive, Billy Boy Blue, Jay Case with a cat eye donation, LM, Mary Clark, Kristen Rose, and Billy Boy Blue. He needed the money. Ooh. Ow, Jesus.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys, at least, it was kind of an entertaining night, but we got through another couple interesting cases. The last one was pretty crazy, right? It was the original Tiger King case, right? Of course, nobody talks about that one. So thank you guys very much. Now, what I'll do is I'll leave the... Well, you get about 10 minutes. We'll play the music. And you guys can watch the Freakazoids wearing your gear. All right? So here we go. And let me do the rap first, though. All right, everybody? So, as I always say, everybody, till next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get you on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregor's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Hey, alright, that was really cool. What about that story? You think the alligator actually ate the girl? I don't really know because the mic was the...
Oh my God. Can you just slow down a little bit? You're a little bit like Chloe. It's crazy, man. It's crazy stuff. All right, hey, good night, Mary Lou.
Gosh, you're so mean. Can I just say what I want to say?
Okay, sorry. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Okay. Good night, John Boy Jesus.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, she's crazy. All right. A little bit like Chloe. A little bit like Chloe. All right, here we go. And where's the freaks wearing it? Somewhere around here. And it's so quiet, everybody. It's so quiet.
When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle full on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. And it's not a treat. Trollers beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Stay in my groove when there's a troll on the move. Just takes a second to remove, 'cause every time I conclude, troller's gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye. I see you creeping on the sly. Why you think you're so fly when you're just a whiny cry? But on me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify. Time to say bye.
Okay, bye.
When I'm in the mood, sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat, troll is beat. It's not a treat, troll is beat. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Stay in my groove when there's a troll on the move. Just takes a second to remove, 'cause every time I conclude, troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the sly. Why you think you're so fly when you're just a whiny cry? Battle me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify. Time to say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Hey, what about me? Let me try. Can I try, Mary Lou? When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food. I suck, man. Okay, let me try it again.
What do you mean? What do you mean, John boy? You're terrible. You suck at it.
Gosh, you're so mean. When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat, troll is beef. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. Staying in my groove when there's a troll on the move. Just takes a second to remove, 'cause every time I conclude, troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the sly.
Why you think you're so fly when you're just a whiny cry?
Hey, battle me, you're gonna fry, gotta say.
Hey, well, that wasn't too bad at the end there, John boy, but you just don't really have it. You just don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try it one more time with this one. When I'm in the mood, I sprinkle troll in my food and boom. Yeah, yes it is, J-Case. These are freak family members. Yep. Treat, troll is beat, just one of the ways that I defeat it. Stayed in my groove when there's a troll on the move. Just takes a second to remove, 'cause every time I conclude, troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping on the sly. Why you think you're so fly when you're just a whiny cry? Battle me, you're gonna fly, gonna send you out to mummify. Time to say goodbye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah!
Well, send me an email, Jay. Send me an email. I'm not eating anything. Nice try, little eye.
I'm tired of it, 10 down, 15 on my...
Chewbacca? I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
Well, I didn't put their names on it because I wasn't sure people wanted to have their name on it. Yeah, send me an email, Jay. Nice try, Lizard Eye. All right, anyways, here we go. That's it, everybody. Thank you all very much. Well, just about the hoodie. I mean, you know, you donate the amount of a hoodie, so maybe I'll just get you one. So just send me an email with your address or something. I mean, they're always helping me out. And the charities. All right, everybody. Thank you. See you later. Okay, bye. Be safe out there.